where the arms wide open under the sunlight. I'll give you everything. I'll give you everything.
What's going on YouTube? We are the Traveliers, and today we're going to be talking with you guys about getting your food on the trail either by resupply or via mail drop. We're going to try to give pros and cons from both sides and try to be as unbiased as we can. So, getting right into it. First of all, resupply, if you don't already know this, is when you just resupply in town. Every time you go to town, you go to a grocery store or whatever you can to get the food you're going to need until you make it to the next town. So, starting with the pros. First of all, if you resupply, you get to enjoy the town. Because you have to resupply in town, it kind of gives you an excuse or like a little mission to go out and, you got to go to find the grocery store, get to the grocery store. It gives you kind of excuse to experience the town more. Change in taste. Your taste buds most likely, or at least mine did, Eric's did, everybody we knew, taste buds changed. Your taste buds will change on the trail. As the further you go, you'll want to eat different things. So if you resupply in town, it allows you to get things as you go. You can change what food you carry with you. Resupplying in town gives you the flexibility in your schedule. So if you resupply in town, you don't have to plan so far ahead, and you can visit really whatever town you want as you feel. You're not stuck to a specific plan. Resupplying requires less planning. You plan your food as you go. When you get in town, then you plan your food. You say, okay, well, I'm gonna need this amount of food for until I get to the next town, and you go from there. So you plan as you go, as opposed to spending all this time planning ahead and before the trip. Which that depends on who you are. Some people really enjoy planning ahead and having the comfort of having that plan set, so they don't have to worry about it on the trail. I definitely get that. But other people don't, like to plan less and just kind of just go for it, So depending on how you feel, resupply might be a better option for you. If you resupply, you just pay for what you need as you use it. So that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to spend less money, but you don't have to spend so much money up front. Okay, getting into some of the cons, some of the bad things about resupplying. If you resupply in town, you could run into limited options. You might get into a very small town that has a really tiny grocery store, and they might not have everything you want. In my experience, you're never going to run into it so horrible where you're going to just starve. You're not going to be able to get food. You'll be able to get food. However, it might not be what you want, and it might be very limited. You might have to get kind of crafty in, how you're going to handle your food situation until you get to the next town. That is a possibility. You can remedy that a little bit by checking out some hiker boxes. A lot of times you can find some good food people left over from their mail drops in hiker boxes that you can use to kind of help out with that. But it is still a problem you could run into with resupplying, so be aware of that. And lastly, for resupplying in town, it could be seen as inconvenient. Again, this is dependent upon kind of the type of person you are, but some people, when they get to town, they just want to relax and, take a load off, and I definitely get that. And, having to go to town and, figure out your food situation, resupply, and do all that could be annoying and inconvenient. So if you are that type of person, resupplying may not be for you.
Okay guys, so we're going to talk about mail drops. Mail drops are a really cool option. The first pro we're going to talk about is it saves money. You buy everything in bulk, so it does drop the price of each individual item, and then it does take a little bit of planning though. First, you have to plan out which towns you're going to be at. You got to try to determine what kind of pace you're going to be going at, and then factor that in, and then divide up all the food you bought, and then to each little care package, for every meal, and just try to plan out how many days you're going to want. It's a little bit elaborate, but it is cool planning everything out. You kind of have a schedule. You're going to get to go to particular towns, and you do your research, and it is a fun process ahead of time before you even start hiking. So mail drops can be really convenient because usually what you'll do is you'll send each mail drop in the town to the hostel you plan on staying at. So not only are you going to just get to town and you're at the hostel you plan on going to, and you get to sleep and relax, get cleaned up, but you don't have to go prancing around town looking for the store, getting lost, getting a ride you might have to pay for. Your food's already there. You can just relax and spend all your time just getting ready and rejuvenated for the next time you go out hiking. So mail drops, they are a sure thing. Whatever you put in the boxes, that's what you're going to get. It's not like you're going to go to the store and then they're going to see the shelves and they ran out of ramen, Pop-Tarts, or jerky. You know what's in your box. You did it. You planned it. The downsides to mail drops. With mail drops, you will get sick of eating the same thing over again. The remedy for that, I guess, would just be planning on that and packing different flavors and different foods in the mail drops as you go. So mail drops, they do force you to go to the town you sent that mail drop, or else you're just wasting the food. But it doesn't really factor in if you're hiking faster or slower, you get injured or something happens. So maybe you run out of food, but you haven't made it to that town yet. So you got to go to a different town that's closer and resupply there anyway. So it kind of wastes your money and your time. With mail drops, it is more money up front. So if you're kind of trying to make money as you go, or you have paychecks coming in later, you have to spend more money right away to get the bulk of the items. Sometimes with mail drops, you waste food more often because maybe you overcompensated for how much food you thought you would need, how many days you were going to be hiking, or your appetite isn't really quite what you thought it would be. So you have to end up giving away some of your mail drop. It can kind of end up wasting food, money. Alright guys, we're your Traveliers. Please subscribe, comment, talk to us. We're going to answer some questions. We love talking to you guys. That was pretty much what we thought about resupply versus mail drop. Let us know what you think. Talk to you guys later.
Bye.